Well, folks, he's back. Donald Trump has returned to the Oval Office, and as we all know, when Trump's in charge, things tend to get interesting, especially when it comes to foreign policy. Forget America first. This time it's more like America yelling loudly while everyone else tries to ignore it. From Panama to Greenland, Canada to China, Trump's been throwing around pronouncements like confetti at a ticker tape parade. But are these genuine threats, or just the opening gambits in the world's most awkward game of geopolitical chess? Let's dive in, shall we? Trump's second act on the world stage has been a whirlwind of eyebrow-raising statements. He's like that friend who shows up to a dinner party, kicks off his shoes, puts his feet on the table, and then proceeds to tell everyone why they are there. Economy, diplomacy, rhetorics, not exactly words in the Trumpian lexicon. But amidst the bluster and bravado, is there a method to the madness? Or are we just witnessing a man who thrives on chaos, both domestic and international? First on Trump's global to-do list, apparently it's adding Panama Canal owner to his already crowded resume, citing national security and economic interests because when doesn't he? Trump has hinted at wanting greater control over this crucial waterway. Now, whether he actually just waltz in and claim the canal like a forgotten timeshare is debatable, to say the least. But the fact that he's even talking about it speaks volumes about his, shall we say, unconventional approach to international relations. And if you thought trying to acquire a major shipping lane was ambitious, buckle up, because Trump's also set his sights on Greenland. Yes, the giant, mostly frozen island owned by Denmark. Apparently, Trump sees it as a sort of fixer-upper project, with untapped resources just waiting for a savvy businessman like himself to exploit. Denmark, understandably, has politely declined Trump's offer, but that hasn't stopped him from daydreaming about renaming it Trumpland and building a giant golf course on the ice cap. Okay, I might have made that last part up. But at this point, would you really be surprised? Tariffs for everyone. Next up on Trump's hit list, our friendly neighbors to the north. That's right, Canada. In a move that can only be described as bold, or perhaps completely unhinged, Trump has floated the idea of Canada becoming the 51st state. Now, before our Canadian viewers start panicking and hiding their maple syrup reserves, it's worth noting that this is most likely just Trump being Trump. A bit of hyperbole designed to get a rise out of people and maybe, just maybe, pressure Canada on trade and defense spending. But Trump's not just picking on individual countries, oh no. He's also taken aim at the global economy with his signature move tariffs. Like a toddler throwing a tantrum in the grocery store checkout line, Trump has slapped tariffs on goods from China, Europe, Mexico, and pretty much anyone who dares to sell something to America for a reasonable price. This has, predictably, gone down like a lead balloon, sparking trade wars and causing headaches for businesses on both sides of the Pacific, and Atlantic for that matter. Is it a sustainable long-term strategy? Probably not. But is it entertaining to watch unfold? In a car crash kind of way, absolutely. So what's the deal with all this saber rattling? Is Trump a strategic genius playing 4D chess while everyone else is stuck on checkers? Or is he just a loose cannon with a Twitter account and access to the nuclear codes? The answer, as with most things Trump, is probably a bit of both. On the one hand, there's no denying that Trump has a certain unorthodox negotiating style. He likes to start with extreme demands, throw in a healthy dose of insults and threats, and then see what he can get away with. It's the art of the deal, baby. Or at least that's how he sees it. And you know what? Sometimes it even works. He did manage to get North Korea to the negotiating table after all. Briefly. On the other hand, there's a fine line between being a tough negotiator and being completely unhinged. And let's just say Trump has a tendency to trip over that line with the grace of a drunken giraffe on roller skates. His unpredictability might make him difficult to read, but it also makes him unreliable and untrustworthy. Not exactly qualities you want in the leader of the free world. So what's the verdict? Are Trump's bold foreign policy moves real threats or just empty rhetoric? Honestly, it's probably a bit of both. But one thing's for sure, the world is watching, and they're not exactly amused. Trump's America First approach has alienated allies, emboldened adversaries, and left many wondering if the United States can still be trusted as a global leader. The next few years are going to be interesting, to say the least. And by interesting, I mean terrifying. Buckle up, folks, it's going to be a bumpy ride.